Welcome to BitBoy Crypto. My name is Ben. Today, I want to follow up a little bit with what happened yesterday on the show. Talk about where we're going from here. I'm in an Uber. I don't know what that is back there. What is that? It's glass cleaner, because we're gonna make some things clear here today, as you can see. The point here is, say hey, hon. We're in Philadelphia for the book tour tonight, so we're heading out there. Can't wait to meet my friend Corey. Can't wait to meet Corey, see what's going on there. But I want to talk a little bit about Celsius. Yesterday, what we did on the show was groundbreaking. And having the call we had with Greg on the show has not been transcribed. It's on Crypto Twitter. You can find it on Otis's account, or you can find it where I retweeted it. Now, I've got several more calls, several more things to do. But I want you guys to understand where we're going from here if you are in the Celsius community. I'm gone for a few days, and the next week I'm in Washington, D.C., and I will be speaking with some congressmen and hopefully congresswomen as well, but definitely some congressmen with some planned visits next week about regulation, about what we're doing, about crypto education, but I will also be talking to them about the Celsius situation and what Congress needs to do to prevent the scam of Case and White, or White and Case. I can never remember. I think it's White and Case. And also the scam of Kirkland and Ellis, where they're laying in this and how the average user is getting screwed. Because I can tell you, that's what people in Congress care about. And you may tell me, you may say, oh, the politicians don't care about us. But they care about your vote, don't they? And who do you think is going to be affected by this more? Individuals or the lawyers and the members of the UCC? And this executive team? Who's getting affected by this? It's the average person. And who are the constituents of congressmen and congresswomen? Average people, constituents, right? So that means votes. So they do care about this. And I believe they're going to be very interested to see what I have to say on this regard. But the point is for me to tell you is that next week, I'm going to be in Washington, D.C. almost the whole week. I'll be on the show on Monday. I'm going to record some videos Monday night. But I won't be back until Friday. And so what is going to happen back on the show until Friday? What is going to happen is we're not going to be doing a lot of in-depth whiteboard videos or in-depth content or live streams. We're going to be digging in more on this Celsius situation because I'm just not going to be there. I will be touching base from time to time, obviously via Twitter and obviously via these type of style phone record videos, okay? For you guys to keep updated if there are changes. But just know, this is just the beginning of this. We are going to dig so deep into Keith Wofford, into, what's this other guy's name? I can't remember his name right now. He's another freaking nerd. Greg Pesci. We're going to be going into the lawyers. I haven't even got to the lawyers of Kirkland and Ellis yet. Judge Martin Glenn. We're going to be looking at him, seeing what's going on. And somebody told me on Twitter, they said, you better be careful going after these people. They'll report you to the judge and to the U.S. Marshals, and you'll be under investigation. Let me tell you this. This is a free freaking press. We have free press rights in America. I have not only the authority, but the responsibility to ask these questions to these people, whether it be at their office, whether it be waiting outside of their door when they come out of their office, whether it be by their car, whether it be on social media, whether it be via phone call, whether it be via email. They're not protected from questions from the press. No one in America is. Everyone can be asked questions on a major financial news story. So no, I'm not scared about any of that. I'm not scared of anything. I don't know if you guys figured that out yet. Maybe I should be, but I'm not. So the thing to keep in mind here is this, is that I've got so much good stuff to put into some videos when I get back next week. But I am now in the anti-clawback Telegram group. You guys can send me some messages on there. Converse with me there. I'm not going to be in there all the time, obviously. I get very busy. But you can, check out what I'm putting on Twitter. But here's what happened today. Today I was in a Twitter Spaces. I won't get into everything that happened, leaving it behind. But at least publicly. But Simon Dixon. Let's talk about Simon Dixon. You guys know I've had Simon Dixon on the show twice. And there's been a lot of pushback against Simon Dixon. And I think everybody sees that they were wrong on that. some people say, well, Simon's intentions are bad because he cares about the money and the bottom line. Is that a bad thing? Is that a bad thing if that's what he cares about? He has money, he has vested interest in this. And everybody here's, I feel like with the exception of me, is pursuing their personal interest in this. Whatever is going to be the best for their situation. And then you can take whatever is best for their situation, apply it over that class of people, whether it's people that took loans, or whether it's people that have the sell token, or whether it's people that are just big creditors, or whether it's people that are getting clawbacks. I didn't even know what my clawback exposure was today. Apparently it's $1.1 million. I had no idea. They told me on the call. I don't look at it in terms of that. I fight for the BitSquad. I fight for the Celsius holders. I fight for the average person that is on that site. Okay, that's who we're fighting for. Now, what is Simon fighting for? It doesn't matter, guys. It doesn't matter. The bottom line is his plan was way better. Period. His plan was far and away supreme over the plan that was offered. And I wish I would have supported it more. I do. I wish I would have supported it more. I wish I'd been more vocal about it. But there were a lot of people that were putting stuff in my ear. Now, you guys have noticed I never say anything bad about Simon Dixon. I've never said anything bad about him on the show. I've had personal, private reservations. I've talked to him. We've had a lot of communication back and forth. But I had some private reservations. There are some other people involved in this situation that I also have private reservations with. But outside of a small handful of people, I've not made up my mind on anybody yet. Now the mind is made up. Now I know who the good actors are. I know who the bad actors are. And when it comes to the UCC itself, some people say, well, they're not the bad actors. They're just creditors. Their silence is deafening. If they are not for us, they're against us. If they're not for us, they're against us. If they're not speaking out against these retail clawbacks, then they're just not our friends and they're not representing us. So we have to make it to where they feel the pressure of the representation that they are responsible for. That's what they're responsible for. So the fact is that from this point forward, we are going to be supporting Simon's plan. I've got some more calls today with some more people I got to talk to, connect some more dots on this situation. It's been a very busy day, hasn't it, hon? Yeah, been a very busy day. So it's been supposed to be spending time with my wife. And what am I doing instead? With the BitSquad. She's jealous of y'all. You guys can kiss these lips too. But the fact is that we are going to be supporting Simon's plan. I've got more to look at. We've got to figure out, at this point, let me tell you what I think the main problem has been outside of the infighting within the Celsius community. It's funny, you don't see this with the other communities. The Voyager community, you didn't see this with. The FTX community, you didn't really see this with. Only the Celsius committee have you seen this with. And it was really the first big domino to fall. So, maybe that's why. Things haven't been. Everybody take a shot. Everybody take a shot. Shot of your protein shake or your energy drink. Maybe that's why. It's because it was the first domino to fall. Maybe it's because there's so many complicated sides to this. Maybe because the leadership and the ownership and the founders maybe are still playing a bigger role than we think they are in creating dissension. Okay, but here's what I want to say. The biggest problem has been there has not been quantifiable, actionable steps given to the average person on what to do here to show your support. So that's what I'm really going to be working on. I'm going to be working with Simon Dixon and some other people on as well, is how can we create something actionable for people to do that's quantifiable. We can measure how many emails we send. We can measure how many handwritten letters we send. We can measure the impact that we're having. That's what I really want to focus on. And so if you have any ideas on that, feel free to drop them in the chat, drop them in the Telegram group, drop them in obviously on Twitter. Let us see those. Make your voice known, make your voice heard. Here's the challenge laid before us. The challenge before us is that Celsius has done what they call a cram down, where they have tried to cram their plan down everyone's throat by creating a class of people that it heavily favors them to vote the plan in. And then in the background, you have Nova Wolf Digital, who's buying up personal accounts from people in order to get the votes. Everyone who had $5,000 or less on the platform, those are the only people who are going to get to vote, because you have to get the majority of one class of voters, to my knowledge, to win this. So that means we have to change the minds of people who have less than $5,000 on the platform. We have to convince them that it's not in their overall long-term best interest to vote for this plan, even if it means they're going to get $300 quick, okay? And I think the grave mistake that Celsius and the UCC and White and Case have made here is to overestimate the care level of people with less than $5,000 on the site. So here's the choice in front of you if you do fit in this class. Either you vote for yourself. You vote for yourself. You vote in a centralized manner. You vote this plan in. Retail clawbacks don't affect you. You get your $1,422 back, and you go on your way. You leave crypto a Benedict Arnold. You leave a traitor. You leave bucking against everything this community stands for. Or you stand up and you be a man or a woman in whatever case, or in some cases both. You stand up and you do what's right. And you go to sleep every night for the next 5 to 10 years, knowing that you made a difference and you chose an ideal. You chose something higher than just a small amount of cash. That's all I got. Be blessed. Bye-bye.